Welcome back to another Rebel Rant into the Void. And this is going to be another civil disobedience video regarding mandatory masking. And stumbled across this story from toddstarnes.com. Woman throws hot coffee in face of man because he wasn't wearing a mask. So, yeah, if you've been watching any of my civil disobedience videos, especially the ones where I am going into public and engaging in civil disobedience by not wearing a mask during these mandates, well, this is actually a really good example of what I've been talking about and, what I've been afraid of. And while there weren't any significant injuries, it easily could have escalated to something far worse. And the fact that this man was assaulted to begin with is unacceptable, to say the least. So we'll go ahead and start off with this video that's embedded in the article, but we'll go ahead and jump over to the actual YouTube channel. The channel is Lubin Doralis, not sure how to pronounce that, and I'm not sure what his connection is to the people in the video, but he did upload it for, literally the world to see. And let's go ahead and let's go through the video a little bit so you can see for yourself what happened. And I will be leaving links to these web pages so you can check them out yourself. You'll be able to watch the video in its entirety. And if you're new to the channel, we'd really appreciate it if you took a moment to hit that subscribe button. And if you do enjoy the video, if you could hit that like button, it really does help the channel. And it is appreciated. So, all right, let's get to the video here so you can see for yourself.
Oh, hi, bye.
Don't need to be wearing masks.
No.
So right there at that point, you can very clear her tell these men that they need to be wearing masks. Now these two men are on a lunch break getting ready to eat a couple of burritos, and as I'm sure you can imagine, it is impossible to eat anything when you have something covering your face. So that right there is a perfect validation for not having masks on. Plus they're out in the open. There's no reason for this other man and woman to be anywhere near them or to let alone even be talking to them. These two men are minding their own business and just trying to enjoy lunch.
Oh, we don't.
How do I eat a burrito with my mask on?
I wasn't talking to you guys, though. That's what I was laughing about. I was talking to him because he just had a confrontation with our buddy Kevin that serves the drinks at Pic. We're local.
So, yeah, as you can hear, they actually already had, particularly the gentleman on the left off camera, already had a confrontation with somebody else in a bar. And this person was actually a friend of theirs regarding masks. And these are not isolated incidents. I am not the only person that defies these mandates, that doesn't agree with wearing masks, that does not comply. I am not the only one. And so far, I've been lucky. Other people, not as much, as you're about to see.
Locals here, but we're on the other side. We're on the other side of the fence. We don't believe in this stuff.
No, that's cool, but you shouldn't go around talking.
I didn't call.
So right there, he openly states that they're on the other side of the fence, quote unquote. They do not agree with this masking malarkey. He makes it very clear. And then this woman in the frame, her boyfriend, says something about you shouldn't say this, blah, blah, that, blah, blah, blah. And the gentleman makes it clear that he wasn't even talking to them. So on every level, the man and the woman are completely failing to mind their own business. They're interjecting themselves into these two gentlemen's conversation that has nothing to do with them per se, and just taking it upon themselves to just to be a nuisance at this point. And like I said, the links will be below for you to check out yourself. Let's go ahead and move this up a bit, and let's continue.
This environment. It's all
What are you
right.
looking at me for? I didn't say shit to you. Get the fuck out
Oh
of
no,
my face.
don't get hit. Oh gee, hey, Matt. Oh shit.
Now, right there, you could hear the gentleman front and center, very agitated, clearly telling someone to get out of his face. At this point, I'm assuming it was the woman, because as you'll see, she is very much out of control. And she is the one that threw the drink in his face.
That was dumb. Hey, guys, stop. You don't. Hey.
Fuck off me.
Hey, stop.
Get her off me. Get your girl off me. Get her off me.
So as you can see, this escalated very quickly. She threw hot coffee in his face. If it was hot enough, it easily could have scalded him, giving him, some pretty severe burns. That is a physical assault with potentially deadly intent. And this gentleman had every right to defend himself. And if you believe in equality, legitimate equality, he was well within his rights to lay the smackdown on her. Because as you saw for herself, she did not back down. Even when this gentleman went after her boyfriend instead of her, she still went after this guy. Going way beyond throwing coffee in his face. She got physical with him. So if you believe in equality, he was well within his rights to defend himself from her directly. But he didn't. And the reason for that is that equality is a sham. If a man defends himself against a woman, he's the one that goes to jail. So he had no choice. His only option was to go after the boyfriend. And he wasn't even the one that threw the drink in the guy's face. So this whole entire situation is one big cluster beep. Yeah. Folks, this is the world that we live in. And you will never be able to convince me that the world is a better place than it was 50 or 100 years ago. I'm sorry, but you will never be able to convince me of that.
You shouldn't have thrown the drink in his face.
I don't give a fuck.
You do
You
now.
should not have
Look at
thrown the
your
drink.
boyfriend.
That was stupid.
And there you can see right there for yourself. This woman does not care. She makes it very clear. She physically assaulted this man with a cup of hot coffee, which could have had the potential to do some pretty serious damage, especially throwing it in his face. The eyes are very sensitive. It could have caused damage to his vision. And she does not care. She doesn't give a damn. And this is a problem, folks. This is far more rampant and widespread than you might think. And this whole masking situation, especially this particular instance, it there are so many variables going on here, not the least of which you've got the participation trophy generation that thinks they're entitled to everything. They think they can ignore the law, break the law. You have this equality scam where women such as this woman right here can literally do whatever they want. They can assault a man with impunity, with no consequences, and they know it. She does not care because she knows that nothing is going to happen to her. And this is not an isolated incident.
You shouldn't do that with somebody
Hey, you
that
might
likes.
have COVID now. You better go to the doctor.
You shouldn't have thrown the drink in his face. That was pretty stupid. I don't know where you got off on doing that.
I hope that someone saw that,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I would do it 10 times over, motherfucker.
Go ahead.
And you just heard it for yourself. She hopes that somebody saw it, which it was on camera. She admits to doing it. And she openly brags that she would do it 10 times over again. This is not some random person with an uncommon attitude towards this type of behavior. There are a lot of women out there that think the same way and they behave the same way. If you don't believe me, then you should probably check out some videos regarding Johnny Depp and Aqua Girl. I have uploaded one such video myself on Rebel Rant, and there are other channels that have covered it extensively. Yellow Flash 2 and that Umbrella Guy are two in particular that come to the top of my head. There's more than enough content out there to give you a better example of what I'm talking about here. And this mentality is far more widespread than most people probably realize. And this situation regarding the mandatory masking this is shining a light on so many problems. One, the whole masking malarkey. Two, regarding this woman's frame of mind. And the fact that she knows that nothing is going to happen to her. Now, every time I go out, which I do as little as possible, mostly to go get food so that I don't starve to death, I have to mentally prepare myself in order to leave the house and enter into the public square. This video is the really good example as to why. Even if I don't get a fine, even if I don't go to jail, it only takes one person, such as this woman, to escalate it from me minding my own business to an actual physical confrontation. I don't think that something like this is going to happen when I go out. But these two gentlemen were minding their own business, trying to enjoy their lunch, and in the space of a heartbeat, this woman throws a drink in the man's face, a hot cup of coffee. I doubt either one of these gentlemen saw it coming, thought that something like this would happen, and yet it did. Now, if you see the timestamp, it says 7/31/2020. So this incident is only a few days old. And it was uploaded to this guy's channel on August 1st of 2020. So this is a very, very recent incident. It's not the first, and it won't be the last.
Fuck you.
I get to go home and laugh about it. You
Cool.
get to go home and cry.
I'm sure you get no fucking pussy in your whole life.
Oh,
you
you're
little
real
bitch.
angry.
And there it is right there. They go straight for the VJ. Because women like this, it's all about the VJ. Doesn't matter what the situation is. Doesn't matter what their behavior is like. The fact that she has a VJ means that she can do whatever she wants. Means that she is untouchable. Means that In her mind, she literally believes that she has all the power. And to a certain extent, it is true. The law protects her even when she throws a hot cup of coffee in a man's face. When her and her boyfriend are physically assaulting this man who is protecting himself in self-defense. And then they have the nerve to call the cops on him.
What?
Yeah. You're real angry.
You look angry. Look at
I'm smiling.
What you needed to do, you needed to learn to walk away.
What are you gonna do? Tell the cops you threw coffee at me?
Hello, 911. I've just been assaulted.
God. Oh my God. This is like, yeah. So, then the man with the camera is right. They should have simply walked away. If they don't like the fact that these guys are not wearing masks, that's fine. They don't have to like it. But when they approached these gentlemen and started to accost them, and she physically assaulted him by throwing a hot cup of coffee in his face, they broke the law. That was a criminal, violent act. And then, as you heard, the gentleman was being generous with that term in regards to her boyfriend. He calls 911 and says that they assaulted him. That he does not tell the police that over the phone that his girlfriend threw a hot cup of coffee in the man's face.
Manhattan Beach Avenue, two gentlemen.
Two gentlemen?
One gentleman and his accomplice.
You need to get your story straight. You know, your significant other here, your wife or girlfriend, she threw a drink in his face and assaulted him. That's
So yeah, even her boyfriend is he's in on this. He doesn't correct her. He doesn't say, hey, what are you doing? He doesn't say you shouldn't be throwing drinks in people's faces. He goes along with it. And he makes himself a part of it by lying to the police while calling 911. He very clearly makes it sound like that gentleman and his quote-unquote accomplice attacked him and his girlfriend for no reason. That's the story that he's spinning. And as you heard for yourself, the woman just doesn't care. She knows that nothing's going to happen to her. Not only is this masking malarkey out of control, not only is it illegal, not only is there no scientific, biological, or medical justification for it, it is opening the door for people like this, both the man and the woman, to openly assault law-abiding citizens with impunity. These are not isolated incidents. These are not isolated variables. They're one thing builds upon another until you have this. And it's going to get worse before it gets better. The only question is how much worse.
That's hot. You know that, right?
Oh,
I'm
Giant
bleeding
pussy.
though. I'm like bleeding out of my face right now. So it's like that's I don't.
They don't pick the one that bleeds the most, you know?
Sorry, buddies. Dang.
So, if a woman throws a hot cup of coffee in a man's face, that could severely burn him, that has the potential to blind him, depending on the temperature of the coffee. The fact that he doesn't just sit there and take it, it somehow makes him a pussy. I do my best not to cuss in my videos. I do my best not, I do my best. But stuff like this is just It's out of control. It's beyond the pale. And it needs to be addressed bluntly and openly. This is not an isolated incident. This is not an abnormal mentality or mindset. Not only does she believe what she's saying, not only does she believe that she's in the right, her boyfriend is right there with her by calling the police, calling 911, and lying to them on the phone. This guy has video evidence of what went down. And I don't know if either one of these people even realized that. But as you can see for yourself, both of them are lying through their teeth. And they don't care because they know that there are not going to be any consequences for her actions or for his actions.
I mean, he even threw coffee on me. Jesus.
Dude, your girlfriend's gonna get you both arrested. You can't throw hot coffee at people.
You can't punch people in the face, my friend.
You threw the first punch
No,
out. Yes,
you threw a coffee at me.
I just
you
paid
threw
money for my
coffee at me.
This is what society has come to, folks. You might not see it firsthand, day to day. But trust me on this, this happens far more than you might think. It's just out of control. This man and this woman, they do not care that she assaulted this gentleman. They don't care. And they're already spinning it to turn themselves into the victims. This is extremely common. I have experienced it for myself. Members of my family have experienced. People I know have experienced it. This is not an uncommon or isolated situation. And it is not only in reference to mandatory masking. This video is threatening to go off into a whole different direction, and I am doing my best to keep it on track.
Coffee at me.
You think I'm gonna throw it in
Hello,
your
man.
face?
Sorry, I'm on Manhattan Avenue. Or,
You did.
Is this Highland
You
Avenue?
punched him in the face. I'm going to
Yeah,
grab
after
coffee.
you threw a coffee at me. You threw the coffee first, stupid.
This
No.
Yeah, there's coffee all over.
And you heard it for yourself. The victim states that she threw the coffee first. And without a single thought, she immediately starts to deny it. No, no, no. These two are pathological liars. Meaning that they have the ability to lie at the drop of a hat and not think twice about it. It's not even a conscious thought. They just do it. And the reason people become pathological liars is because they get away with it time and time and time again. They do it over and over and over. I guarantee you this is not the first time these two have done something like this. This is not the first time she has started something like this, and that he has covered for. Even with his nose bleeding, blood down his shirt, he is still covering for her and protecting her. It is not just her that is the problem, it is her boyfriend. He is also part of the problem. They are both the problem. And there are far too many people in this world just like those two, because they get away with it. There are no consequences. The real victim, the gentleman mid-screen with the torn shirt, he is the victim. But the simple fact is that doesn't matter.
There's coffee all over your boyfriend.
Because you were punching him.
Oh,
What
yeah.
did you do, asshole?
They're both just trying to
No, it's
delusional.
on the side of the street.
I love living
And
here. This place is
One
great.
man just
Yeah, I
walked.
know, I grew up
Great
here.
You know, he punched me in the face. I'm bleeding out of my mouth right now, and my nose.
So good.
I'm
That's my
bleeding
favorite
all over
shirt.
the street.
Yeah, so her boyfriend's on the phone, just going on and on about how he got punched in the nose. He's bleeding all over his shirt. Not a single word about the coffee being thrown in the man's face. Not a word. I'm sorry, I can't watch any more of this because this is just, it's just trying to make your way through a really dark and twisted funhouse. Mirrors everywhere, cracked, broken, smoke, just everywhere. You can't see it. You're trying to make your way, and it's impossible to get through it because what should be an obvious path through is nothing more than a broken and twisted reflection. It literally makes my head hurt to such an extent that I cannot watch any more of this. The links will be down below if you want to watch this for yourself, start to finish. I will be available. There are fair use laws that I cannot simply sit here and play it for you. But what I can do is comment on it, provide commentary, which is what I'm doing. And it's making my head hurt. This woman is out of control, and her boyfriend is enabling her. So before we wrap this up, let's go back to this article. So, like I said, this actually does go beyond the mandatory masking malarkey. So, according to patch.com, which I've never heard of personally, there's no link for this, but this article does state that no one was arrested and that both parties were told to apologize to each other. This is just, I just can't deal with it anymore, folks. I do believe in mercy under the law and whatnot. If you hold too rigidly, too stringent to the letter of the law, it has the potential to become tyrannical in nature. But then you go the other way with it, where you do not hold to the letter of the law at all, and it's all just emotion and nonsense, and you ignore the law altogether. That is anarchy. And this is what we're witnessing today in this video. Anarchy. This woman, without provocation, threw a hot cup of coffee in a man's face. Bare minimum, she should have been arrested. Charges should have been filed. Quite possibly, she should have seen some jail time. Because it's pretty obvious, based on her behavior, which was recorded on camera, that she's engaged in this kind of behavior before and gotten away with it. And she knows it. And she knew that nothing would change. This needs to stop. Yeah, this is just bringing out the rebel rage here, folks. And I think this is gonna wrap up this video today. Stuff is out of control. The world is out of control. And I'm sorry, but it is going to get worse before it gets better. Especially if people fail to stand up to stuff like this. As long as people turn a blind eye. As long as people continue to capitulate to these tyrannical edicts and to this blatant anarchy. That's a whole nother rant right there. Folks, these things need to change. Always remember to look beneath the surface. This has been another Rebel Rant, speaking into the void.
Can't stop the signal now.